Okay, honestly, I don't know how to start, so just gonna get going with it. You're having a good time? To sum it up, I actually started. I'm 24 now. I started DJing when I was 13 or 12, one of the two. Because the main reason I kind of started that early was my dad used to always push me, and used to always say that at the age of 13, you should know what you're gonna do with your life. Otherwise, good luck. And he since the start, since I was I think 6, he wanted me to be a cricketer because he's a very very passionate cricketer. And then football took over my heart. So then he got very upset. Uh, he hated the fact that I played football for a very long time, and back then there wasn't really a base to grow in football as is there now. I'll get back to that why I'm talking about football. But then since that time, since I was around 10, I kept trying different things. So I tried cricket, I tried football, I tried playing badminton, and I knew for sure that I didn't want to be stuck in a 9 to 5, especially now stuck in a 9 to 5 in India, because 9 to 5 doesn't exist here. So, so it's more like 9 to 1 a.m. So I always knew that I needed to try something unique, I needed to try something different, something that I didn't want to be stuck at a desk at, which strangely enough now I'm stuck at a desk at a studio. Then somehow DJing came along because I think my dad was supposed to be here. It would have linked in really well as well. But I used to go to Sunburn when it started in 2007. I've been there every year, and it was completely illegal for me to be there because I was 12. And and at that time, Goa was a different scene. I remember my dad used to always he smell weed and used to be like, oh no, that's some garbage truck going. So I started fiddling around with DJing at home, and there was Carl Cox playing at Sunburn in 2008, and I just saw how much the crowd enjoyed it and how much he enjoyed it. And I was just like, hell yeah, I need to be doing that. I need to be the guy on stage, not behind stage at events. So that's how it kind of clicked that I want to do something where I was on stage or in front of an audience. And that's when my dream of being a footballer kicked off and shattered at the same time. So then I went back home that same year, completely inspired by Carl Cox and Above and Beyond. And I was like, shit, I'm going to start DJing, I'm going to try different things. And I didn't know what exactly it was, so I kept playing like these really, really weird, CDs on this Denon 4500s at home. And I didn't know what extended mixes was. I just thought this is how DJing was, you just fade in and fade out and you're done. I've got really, really, really cheesy videos of me like putting the phone on a couch and standing there like Armin van Buuren doing that pose when the song's just playing and doing nothing, and I've hid that on Facebook so no one can see it. That's how it started, and that's how it kind of clicked because I really enjoyed it. You get that feeling, when you enjoy doing something and you don't want to stop. That's when you know that this is what I want to do. And I didn't realize it would come to this point where I am now when it started, but I didn't stop. That was the main thing. So that's a message for I think everyone who's kind of doing something they're passionate about and you don't know kya hone wala hai. That's like, okay, how many of you all are actually kind of confused about where your life is gonna go? So basically everyone. It's like 2-3 people that are like, ठीक है, मेरे को पता चल जाने वाला है. Don't worry about that, because till date I don't know where my life is gonna go. So it's unpredictable every week. It's unpredictable every night. You sleep with good news. You wake up with bad news. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll be figured out. You have to keep going at it, and it'll kind of just fall into place where it has to. And that's how it kind of happened, because I went with a long shot to my dad and said, at this 13-year-old kid, actually he was 14 then, I just kind of went, hey dad, can I play at Sunburn? And obviously he was like, are you okay? You sure? So he said no to me for an entire year. But I kept pestering him and said, I want to play. And he finally just gave in, like dads will always say, haan, theek hai. But he said that if you mess up even a little bit and I don't enjoy your set, you're never ever going to be playing again. I'm never going to let you on any stage. So all the rumors of, "Arey, so uska beta hai, usne dal diya." Yeah, he put me there, but he also said that I can take you off when I want. So that's what people don't see. And thankfully, he enjoyed. I don't know whether it was my music or the alcohol, but he enjoyed. So, but it's interesting. That same gig, it was my dad was there, my mom was there, my best friend was there, his mom was there, my grandmom was there, my dad's brother was there, my cousins were there, the company accountant was there. That was the crowd, but they enjoyed, so it was good. Then it's started picking up really well from there, and but it also came to a point in school that people made fun of me because I was always that kid like trying to do something different, and people were like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, okay, fine, kar lo, theek hai, kar lo." Now those same people are DMing me asking for tickets for shows, so so whoever makes fun of you for shit, let them make fun of you. It's okay. Just enjoy it. Just laugh at them. Ha, theek hai, okay. Just let it get past you. But then it picked up really well, and it kept progressing from there. And then I released my first single. Actually, before we released my first single, we just gave a long shot by mailing Tomorrowland and saying that he's the first Indian. He's I think I was 16 or 17 at that time, and they gave me a really small stage, but I was like, shit, I'm doing it. And I think my mom and dad woke me up on a Saturday. I had a sleepover with like 3 friends from school, and they woke me up, Shaan. So they just told me the news, like, oh yeah, we got the email from Tomorrowland, you're playing this year. And I was so zoned out, I was like, yeah, okay, and then I went back to sleep. But at Tomorrowland, I took another step where I took a long shot and just played a demo to the A&R for Armada. And he was like, dude, this is sick. And at that time, I was one of the only Indians that was really pushing myself a lot, and I was really young, so they kind of give you, the growth, ratio. So he's young, he's got a long time, we can pick him up. And he was like, dude, this is sick. We need to do something with it. And from there, he just said, he played it on the radio. He just told me, come to the studio at Tomorrowland. We'll just do a small interview, this and that. So I was like, yeah, cool, okay, fine. And suddenly he's like, do you have a pen drive with you? I said, yeah, sure. He's like, play us one song that, you think is going to be your hit. So the song was Light Up the World. And I just dropped it, and it's... The minute it played, it absolutely... You just saw the reactions online saying, whose song is this? And I was a 16-year-old kid, like... Just that's when I got signed to Armada, and then my career just picked up from there somehow. And Touchwood, it went really well from there, and it kept increasing. Shows started flowing in more. I was starting to experiment with my own sound. I released an unofficial, remix bootleg for the Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth song "See You Again," which got insanely picked up out of nowhere. So again, another long shot. We just said, we'll release it without any rights, no copyright, nothing. We know it might get taken down, but and strangely enough, my management at that time said, dude, Shaan, don't do it. We don't want a lawsuit. We don't want anything going wrong. So I was like, yeah, okay. I secretly edited. If you go on my YouTube, you'll see the video. That's all GoPro footage from like gigs, and it's edited by me during a wedding in Thailand. And I was like, I'm just gonna put it out. And I released the song without my manager's approval, without any rights obtained, nothing. Because I was 16 and I didn't really care. So, but that exploded. It got played on Hardwell on air. Andrew Royale picked it up. Then one day playing FIFA, I got an email from Dimitri Vegas like Mike saying, yo, can you send us the stems? We want to play it at mainstage at Tomorrowland. And then thanks. And yeah, so then again I got another offer to play at Tomorrowland. I played that the next second day in a row. And then from there, it just kind of exploded because they played on main stage, and I was standing in the crowd, and I was like, people are raging. I was like, that's my song. Nobody cared. Nobody really cared that it was my song, but it was cool. Then it just picked up from there, and I was signed to Armada for a long time. But how much ever I'm talking about the good stuff, there was a lot of bad stuff that was going on in the back. And because you reach a high at such a certain point, you're going to fall very badly. So I did have a really, really big downslope. I think it was the year I released a couple of songs. I did release a couple of songs, but none of them did any good. I was trying to experiment with my own sound, and I was going the whole Indian way in a way. I was trying to push it towards, using Indian instruments more. One of the songs that year did really pick up well. I did a remix for Stevie Aoki and Louis Tomlinson, and that's my most streamed song. It's the most streamed song in the remix pack as well, and it just picked up really well in terms of streams. And that song in it, the entire percussions are Indian. There's a tabla and everything in there, which people didn't notice, which is cool. But from there, the shows kind of started declining a little bit because I was not doing as much, because social media became a really, really prominent thing back at that time. And it was prominent that you get more followers, and your bookings depended on your followers and how many likes you get and how many views you have. It didn't depend on the quality of your music, which was, for me, was like, what the hell? Because there's one guy here producing good music, but because I have 1,000 followers less, the other guy who is not producing a song in 15 years is getting a booking because he's got 1,000 more followers. So that kind of hit me hard, and I kind of went on a really bad downslope, and I fell into a big bout of depression where I kind of just got to a point where I was like, dude, I'm giving up on this. I don't want to produce music anymore. I don't want to do shows. And I had a long talk with my management over here, and talking to them about, what to do, what do I do next? Because I just didn't feel like I wanted to do this anymore, because it became so saturated in my brain that people were looking for other things apart from music more than this. But at the same time, thankfully my parents never gave up on me, and at that same time I met my current best friend, who's smartly torn his ligament, and he's normally always here for my stuff. These guys over there know him. So he's always there for everything, and he also was kind of understanding and tried to stand by me the entire time. It was that was a tough time. So that was, the graph kind of just went down. Then, as I mentioned, songs weren't doing well. Shows had on a downslope, and I started losing a chunk of my fan base because I wasn't posting on social media, this and that. And I just kind of went into a space where I was waking up every morning feeling very low, just wanted to cry, just wanted to, be left alone. So I was more than happy just sitting in a quilt and watching Netflix the entire day. But then at the same time regretting at the end of the day that I'm not doing shit with my life. My dad also was trying to inspire me in his own way by saying I'm lazy, which I still am. But that in turn helped me get out of my, phase. I'm not ashamed to say that I actually seeked a lot of help. I went to a psychologist. I went to get help and spoke to them about a lot of things, about where my headspace was. But, that changed everything for me out of nowhere. It changed my entire life, that downslope. It's a simple thing that I always said whenever I speak about that I did an interview with BBC, I just said you just need to embrace it. The biggest thing that we do when we're depressed or feel low is that we deny that fact that we're low or we're depressed. Don't deny it, just embrace it. Because from that, you will actually become a lot stronger. Even now, I have a lot more down days, which is fine. Even now also I have a lot of down days, but I say, yeah, okay, fine, I'm not feeling good. Let's do things to make me feel happy. Go eat McDonald's or some shit. So there was a big downslope, but I just kept at it, and the biggest thing is that, again, I said I didn't give up. It was just like there was a vision, and I just said, okay, fine, I have to get there somehow, and we just be patient with it. And then it just kind of started falling into place bit by bit. Got a new management in the UK, and he just said, I've shown your music to Virgin EMI, Universal Music in the UK, and they absolutely love it. And they want to see what's next, and they just want to see your new music. And I was like, yeah, sure, cool. But I was at a point in my brain where I was like, okay, this is happening, but, at a point, this is a point in my life where the universe is always giving me good news, but it's not completing the news. It was saying like, okay, we'll give you a deal, but not complete the deal. So I was just kind of like, okay, fine. But my parents were flipping out, dude, you got Virgin EMI, And then eventually that got signed, and that's the only one night till date that I've got absolutely smashed. And it was because because for me it was always a milestone because I became the first Indian to sign with a major label in terms of DJs, and it was a big step into taking Indian artists abroad, Indian artists internationally. So that's how it culminated, and then I released 3 songs on Virginia. My song's been played all across the US. The latest release, Must Be Love, is the most played song by an Indian producer in US radio history. So it's kind of strange because it's weird because when I say it, I'm just like it's okay, cool, like but then my management is like, bro, get excited, get happy, let's do something bigger now. And there's a lot of big stuff coming up by the end of this year, which I can't really say anything about, sadly, sorry. But yeah, and linking back to now, that's my story, and that's where I am right now. There's still a lot of ups and downs. I'm still very lazy. That's not changed. But embracing the laziness. But linking back to the things it's as simple as you have 24 hours in a day, right? Okay, how many of y'all right now are doing something that you're really passionate about? So kind of balanced. That's actually no. Those guys who are really passionate about, you all are balancing it well, clearly, right? I hope you're balancing it well with schoolwork.
No.
No? Nope. I didn't either, trust me. Which point I missed was when my music career was really kicking off, I got a call into school. The principal literally said, and I was at American School of Bombay, so the expectations are really high, and I was the only Indian there because only expats allowed. So I got in at one point very early in the school day because I actually have dyslexia and I'm ADD and I have a lot of reading and writing disabilities. So they took me in because they had a really good program and we had some friends there who helped us out. And because they were like, oh, now he has this much dyslexia, plus he's DJing, my grades just shot down. And because I was like, yeah, cool, I'm becoming a celebrity, let me enjoy my life a little bit. Then, no clap for that. I got called in from the principal and said, if you don't get your grades in the next month, we're kicking you out of school. So then I had to really get my shit together. So it's as simple as that. If you're really passionate about something, there's no excuses. Time nahi hai. You always have damn time, man. You always have the time on your hand. You have 7 days a week. You have 24 hours. You sleep 4 hours. That's fine. Manage it. Then you balance it out, no? If you're passionate about something, how many of y'all are doing something you're not passionate about, just doing it for your parents' sake? Everyone's really like shy too with their hands like, You know what? Do it for your parents. Honestly, do it for your parents. Because we don't realize if we take for granted that they exist to give us that platform. They might force us to do things we don't like, but they have a massive reason to it. Even for me, my parents forced me to finish my degree. Finished it. Never used it, but finished it. But my dad forced me to start another business, which I really didn't want to because I was enjoying my life. I was touring, I was touring my friends. I was having great shows. I was making music. I was traveling the world. But then he said, music nahi chalega next year, then you're screwed, right? You don't have anything to back you up. I have like a marketing degree, which will probably not be in use also now. And I stepped into a plan that he actually gave me in 2015, which was called Fan Football Company. And now we are actually stepping into the space where no one's ever touched in football. And I'm running a completely independent business with the help of 3-4 people to help market football clubs in India and market them globally. We just ran a really success. Who knows Watford FC here? So that's me. Everything to do with them in India is me. Just saying. That's when coming back to the parents thing. They will force you to do things. They have a very good reason to it. They did force me to start another business. I said no. Obviously, I was adamant, like most of us are. Kya bol rahe ho? Go against your parents. Rebel. Da. But at the end of the day, your dad buys you an iPhone X, no? Ouch! No, but it's true. Yeah. I got my phone from my parents paid for it. But then I have to go back and do something for them also, no? But they always have a strong reasoning. That's why you have to always make sure you make your parents happy, then make yourself happy, and that links back to you have enough time to do both. Okay, random question. What's like the most, who's interested in music over here? Okay, so decent bit of people. So, you all are interested in music, but do your parents like embrace the fact that you want to do music? Two of y'all do. You? Not really, no? Do it. Just keep doing it. Don't stop. Anything you're passionate about, there's a reason you're passionate about it. Don't just say, I'm passionate about it, but then go play PUBG for 3 hours. If you're playing PUBG for 3 hours, you have 3 hours to make music. You have 3 hours to do anything you're passionate about. You have 3 hours to create a business plan. You have 3 hours to shoot a video. You have 3 hours to learn something new. Like, all that, you have a lot. Okay, honestly, I'm the worst person to be saying this because I would rather play FIFA in those 3 hours as well. But you have a lot of time. You know, simple thing is don't be scared. Don't be scared about where your life's heading. None of us know. You could walk out this door, a coconut can fall on your head, you could be dead. You don't know. You honestly don't know. So, don't worry. It'll all get sorted. As long as you're passionate and you're excited about what you're doing, you're gonna make it. You know. I'm gonna be like not controversial, but I'm gonna say that don't do a 9 to 5, please. You're not living life. You won't live life if you're stuck in a corporate job. I never want to be stuck in a corporate job, even though now I'm wearing shirts and ties and going to meetings with brands and this and that for somebody else. Make it your own business. Start, okay, fine, do internships right now, start off learning a lot of things. Yeah, so it's just simple as, you have enough time. Don't be scared. Figure your shit out. Organize yourself. Enjoy your life. Go travel. How many of you like traveling? So basically everyone. That's a stupid question to ask. Yeah, just go travel. It's very simple. There are places you can go for damn cheap that will inspire you a hell of a lot. Go to the mountains, just hide yourself, cut off from network, take a notepad and pen, and just write things you want to do in your life. Then you start narrowing it down. Because a lot of y'all don't know what y'all want to do in your life because everyone's so consumed by so many things. Just focus on yourself for once. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people realize that when they're 50, 60 that they haven't focused on themselves. Start doing that now. Because for me, how I view life is that if I have to go now, if a coconut did fall on my head right now, would I be happy with what I've done on this planet? I would say yes, but I want to do more. So you should, if you see your life in this perspective that if something did happen to you now, just make sure you're happy internally. Then things will happen for you because then you focus on doing positive things. You focus on doing things that will create history. You focus on doing things that will inspire other people. Because I'm here talking to you now, but you should be aiming to be talking to another group of people later on in life. You can tell your work's talking a lot more than your face. So work is very important, but also living life is very important. I'm doing this talk, then I'm sitting with my team, figuring out the entire plan for the road trip that we're taking for a brand. Waking up at 6 in the morning on Monday, 5:30 in the morning on Tuesday, 4 in the morning on Wednesday, then flying back to Bombay and then flying for a mini vacation for 4 days. Because balance. Simple. So, and honestly, I'm pretty surprised so many people on Saturday showed up. I didn't want to show up. I gave them a lot of trouble, I know. No, okay, and one more important thing is that I'm standing here because of 20 people, not because of me. Because of me also, yeah. But because of 20 people that have helped me stand here. But I started alone. You have to pick up on your way, on your progress towards wherever you want to go. You have to pick up a whole army with you. You have to pick up a whole bunch of people who believe in you. And you have to. That could be a best friend, honestly. Like I have one of my best friend who's not here now. He comes to every single Mumbai show, even though he's doing nothing. He just sits in a corner and just enjoys. Find friends who support you mainly. Find people who believe in your vision, you know, but treat them equally. Don't treat them that you're here and they're here. They're part of your team. Your brand or your person or your dream is not one person. Even though a lot of these hustlers make it look like they've done all the shit, there's another 25 people that have worked their ass off to make this guy's shit look cool. So it's and if you're here, make sure you teach everyone who's underneath you to be where you are. Even though it might take a long time, you should believe, you should make sure you believe in them more as much as you believe in yourself.
We don't think about you anyway like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, SHAAN's dad is like Sunburn's inceptor, like the founder, Shailendra Singh. Okay, so there are a lot of times when if you do good, you say, "Arey, bade baap ka beta bhai, iska aisa hai." And if you do bad, bhai, kitna time tak apne baap ke isme jiyega?
Yeah.
So what do you have to say to them, or how do you deal with them? Because it's not every time. It's not like मैं गरीब हूँ या मेरी एक टांग नकली or something shit, right? You do something. So how do you do that?
I stopped dealing with them after a point because they were just stupid people who are doing nothing better than sitting behind a phone and commenting on posts of mine. But at the same time, it's because they don't know the story. They don't know what goes behind. We choose not to put up the story because that's our personal issue or it's our personal growth. So there's a lot of people, even in Bollywood, people say, iska beta hai. I have said it. But if the guy is talented, fair enough, kudos to him. There are people who are iska beta, but they're talented a hell of a lot. And then you say, theek hai. If they fail, no one talented enough, But every beta and every father, the father says the same thing. I'll give you the platform. If you're not worthy and not talented, you're off it. It's as simple as that. If you look at some actors who have gone up, they've also come down very fast because the parents in themselves have pulled the plug and said, not anymore, because you're not worthy. You have to be worthy of that position. And you have to prove that you deserve the position. Now, I have people who have told me, iska beta, are not my fans. Because I've spoken to them personally and said, this is my journey, chup. Tera journey tera hai, mera journey mera hai, tu chup hai. And most of these haters are all sitting behind a computer, doing nothing with their life, probably saying, tu chutiya, and then going and playing PUBG. So, and nothing against PUBG. Nothing against PUBG. I played also. But those are those type of people. Those are you like just have blinders and just you look at where you want to go. These people pass. It's okay. They'll pass. But the fan base that you create or the people you create around you who believe in you are the true people who believe in you. Just focus on them. Don't focus on the people who are negative. They'll keep being negative, but they'll also not get anywhere in life. If they do get in your life, kudos, negative guy, good for you. I will never comment on someone saying that, ye uska beta hai, uska beta hai, ye uska beta hai. I'll keep my thoughts to myself and watch them do the work. If they do the work, fantastic, good job, you deserve being up there. If they don't do the work, then okay, dad must have pulled the plug.
Nice. So, like any audience question?
So there are two questions.
Yeah.
Like first question is like there are so many genres coming up. Like
Yeah.
So like as a producer, we both are duo. Okay.
Yeah.
So as a producer, we are confused. Like my genre I prefer is progressive house.
Yeah.
And he prefers trap, future bass. So we don't know what to come up with.
Yeah.
And second question is like one tip about like producers, how to go with it.
I'll answer both your questions in one answer.
Yeah.
Just be unique. It's as simple as that. If you all both like different things, combine them. Do something cool with it. Because I also have that issue because the way the world is changing very fast in all aspects. And it's every day there's a new trend. There's something new going on with it. And you have to keeping up with it. I used to produce progressive house for a very, very long time. And that's something that I love still. And anything that I do is always melody related. But you have to keep up with the times. You have to make sure that streaming matters now. So you have to make sure that what you're making is going to be streamed a lot by people. So I would just say be unique, but keep your audience in mind.
Okay.
Because your audience is going to make you, like everyone sitting here is making me in a way. They're a part of me. So make sure you keep these people in mind. Because what they like is what you will grow with.
Yeah.
So it's as simple as that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So being a musician myself, I struggle with this whole thing of should I have an underground sound which is not particularly commercial.
Yeah.
So if you have an underground sound, what thoughts go into your mind? Like, should I put this out or what should I do? Like, if it's not,
Put it out.
you do put it out.
Like when I was not signed to a label, I would.
Yeah.
Now I have to please a lot more of the people, and they have to approve my work.
Yeah.
But if you're coming up and you're growing, just put every single piece of music out there, because you don't know what will hit. You know, just don't overthink it. We all do that. We all say, "Arey, this won't work, that won't work." Like I was just working on a piece of music yesterday, day before, which I know my labels are going to deny. But I said I'm going to complete it. I'll maybe sell it to someone.
Yeah.
But I want to put it out somehow or the other. As a co-producer, even if I just give it to someone, let them put it out. It's just put it out. Just see where it goes. You honestly never know. It's the unpredictability of life. Don't overthink the unpredictability of it, and don't worry about it. Just put it out. Grow your fan base, because 3 people might like it. They'll tell their friends. Out of them, 1 might like it. He'll tell his friend. 2 might like it. She'll tell his friend. It just keeps going. So the more you put out, obviously put it out in a smart manner, marketing wise. Spend some money behind it, because that's how this day and age works. You just have to put money behind everything you do. But simple answer, put it out. Yo, make some noise for this guy.